Number 7. So, you've been waiting for this, I think. The way I'm going to do it is structure it kind of similar to, it's like a Reddit Chegg hybrid. So what will happen is people can go on the site and they can go on like Archi Medical. And so they can ask a question, ask any question, like post a problem, post anything on like a Reddit. It's like a Reddit form, right? Like you just post your question. And then, anyone can respond, anyone can answer the question, but we're going to have Archi verified creators. And so when those people respond, theirs will go to the top and it'll be like a check or whatever. It'll show you that they're like, we verified that they're a creator. So the response is more likely to be legit. You can't guarantee it, but it's a better chance than just a random person, right? So to become an Archi verified creator has to be done through us, right? Archi has to verify them. And you can get to the top by having a lot of upvotes on your responses. You can get to the top through a multitude of ways, but you get to become verified by helping people. So in that way, then we can vet out the bad creators, right? Which is a problem I had. And we can help. So as I said in the last video, right? So I found a solution that can not only help the creators know what content to produce and convince them, right? Like this is so much easier than having them build out a full course to start. You just hop on. If you see a question you know the answer to, right, then you answer it. And it helps the students even more because instead of me and the creator talking about, hey, which course do you think we should build? No, it's just literally like these are the questions that they have, and then they answer them. And so then once they answer enough questions, they kind of are starting to understand what the student wants, and then they can build courses. And what I'm thinking right now, this is subject to change, but only Archi verified creators will be able to build courses. But all instructors, there'll be like an instructor page, and you can pay for certain instructors to answer one of your questions. So you could do it like a text message. You could do it in you can FaceTime them, but you pay it so that the best creators can still answer questions and still be of service to people, but they don't have to be in the weeds and doing it for free. So then all that makes the solution, right, easier to sell the professors on it. Like, hey, instead of building a huge course, you just answer a few questions. They'll make more money because people will pay specifically for them to answer the question. So it's like a win-win-win scenario. It just might push back the timeline of when the site goes live a little bit, but yeah, so that's the solution you're waiting for. So next I'm gonna go into focus and kind of where I'm placing most of my attention. So at this moment, I'm still in my last semester of college. I have an 8-hour job, like 40 hours a week, and I'm founding a startup on the side. And so I don't really have that much time for other activities. Like there's a lot I had to give up to pursue this. So it kind of made me realize that a lot of ventures and pursuits that people do in business are just not worth it. I always go back to the quote from Hermosi's mentor, if it's not $1 billion, it's not worth my time. And I know that sounds crazy to a lot of people, and the vast majority of people, it sounds crazy. And maybe even to very successful people, it sounds stupid because of where my financial standing is. But I just look at it from the perspective of, why would I put my heart and soul into everything? Why would I give up all that I'm giving up to sell it for like $5 million and then you got to go start something else? Like why not put all my ideas, all my energy, all my attention into one thing and make it as good as I possibly can and turn it in to what I want it to be and make my vision ultimately come true. I think that's just much more powerful. But as a byproduct of that, I've had to give up certain things. Like I can't really hang out with people as often. I used to go out a lot, and I don't remember the last time I went out. I used to look at the charts every day. I wanted to be a trader, or at least I wanted to invest, but I had to kind of make a choice between, do I want to read every day or do I want to trade every day? And well, if the goal is money, then it's a 50-50 shot. But if the goal is, hey, I want to build this into $1 billion company, then, well, then reading's the obvious choice, right? Because trading doesn't really help that, but reading about stuff that's helped me through the business really helps and fuels that. So yeah, the focus, I hear a lot of time of, especially my friends, they always bring up these new ideas, and dude, they're good ideas. Like one of my friends wanted to drop ship political products and they asked me to, you know, be a part of it. And I said, I can't, bro. I'm too focused. Like this is my focus. My sole and only focus is this. I'm doing the job on the side to make money, to fuel that. Like I'm doing school, just whatever, opportunity cost, whatever. That is that. Like that is fueling it. So when you're putting everything into it, there's a quote from Jordan Peterson said, spend all of your, I might butcher it, focus on one thing for an entire year and watch what happens. And so I've been focusing on this thing, this Archi thing, for the whole year. And it's mid-March, so we're almost a third of the way through. And I really want to see what happens after a year, but imagine what happens after 40. So that's the plan. So lastly for this week, I'm going over what I think is my superpower. Ever since a young age, I've always been very good at visualizing. So I would visualize, there would be like a tiny basketball hoop in my room, and I would visualize like myself and the career that I had, like, you know, becoming like the greatest basketball player in the world, or, you know, whatever it was. Or I would even play like games of teams, and I wouldn't even write anything down. Like I would memorize everything in my head, and I know exactly who's up and who's on base, and that's for baseball too. I would always play those games in my room, and I was always kind of ashamed of it. But now, like, I know the thing is, like, what you're ashamed of in your childhood ends up being your, you know, the thing that makes you exceptional, because exceptional is just different. And so when you're ashamed of it in your childhood, it's because you're not normal. But that becomes your greatest strength, because what makes you not normal makes you exceptional. So I've always been incredible at visualizing, but now just using all that visualization on one thing, I am coming up with like incredible ideas, incredible different ways to do things. And this is just the beginning stage. Once I get into the more on this, like once I get into the weeds of it, once I get into like, you know, I'm still working 40 hours a weekend in school. Imagine when I quit and I'm not in school anymore. Imagine all the time I'm going to have, the thinking capacity. I am just amazed by what my brain has come up with. And this idea is so strong that it just makes me so confident and so passionate that this company and what I'm creating is going to change the world. You know, how it comes to be, that's to find out. And you know what's crazy? My superpower will kick in and I will generate ideas to get there. But I think that the biggest shift for me was starting with why, Simon Sinek. The biggest shift was like, hey, stop thinking how, just think, okay, why and what would I want to do it? And then let your brain work. And so I go on walks twice a day, 30 minutes. And I used to think it was kind of unproductive when I first started Archi, but now I see it as an absolute necessity. Like I need to go on walks. And sometimes I'll come back from the walk and I'll have no ideas, nothing new. But it's okay. You need that creative process. You need to be out in nature. You need to be off the grid, off the phone, and in your own thoughts and thinking about whatever it is that you're focusing on. And so as I continue to harness the superpower and make it better and better, it's absolutely incredible. It's fascinating what my brain has come up with. Like this whole like structure and layout of the entire plan of the company is, and even further than that, like it's just incredible what I've come up with. So I'm super excited to get it developed. Maybe I'll raise money, maybe not. We'll have to see. It's going to be a big pain to give up equity because I know how big this company is going to be. So, but you know, if you got to do it, you got to do it. So I'll update you guys on that and if I'm going to go down that path. But I mean, right now it's looking incredible.